Immigration Talk Show. I'm your host, Sam, and I'm so happy to have you all here again. And you're watching Daily Immigration Dose DID, and we are streaming live at 4 p.m. EDT. We are live on YouTube, available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. And before diving into our topic and also inviting my co-host, Nipasa Pradhan, let me read out this very important disclaimer. By watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not a professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. All right, friends, after this very important disclaimer, once again, welcome back everyone to Daily Immigration Dose. And also make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And the best part of this webinar is that you can also participate in this session by dialing up the number that is just visible on the top of the screen, 425-4366-335. And don't forget to put the access code that is 988888. All right, with that, here we have another very important topic and very timely too, and that is green card freeze, what it means for Indian in the US. So, of course, we are going to have a great discussion on this topic. We are going to understand that what's happening right now and why Trump's administration has taken such a big step. And if they have taken, then what can be the reasons and also how immigrants can take steps to protect themselves. So there are so many things to cover in this webinar, but with that also I have my co-host Nipasa Pradhan is also here. So hi Nipasa, it's so good to be here again and hope you're doing great.
Thank you, Sam. It's always good to be here with you on Daily Immigration Dose. And I hope that folks out there are also doing great today. It's second day of April already. How time flies, right? But I hope
Yeah.
that, we are all prepared for this whole month ahead. And of course, adapting to all the changes that, the administration throws at us. But even if not, I think it's always good to be on the right path and nothing to misinterpret and nothing to misread. And we'll follow each and every rule, do our bit, and play safe. So I hope that folks out there are also, prepared for today's discussion. We are going to discuss about green card freeze, what it means for Indians in the US. And of course, we do have some news updates as well, since we always share some, right, Sam? So I think
Yeah,
let's start with the news first and then we'll go on with our discussion.
sure. Okay, so here's my first news, friends, and that is about panic among Indian H-1B visa holders. So, of course, yesterday also we had a discussion regarding the Silicon Valleys, and today also I would just like to let our viewers know that there's a quite panic among the H-1B visa holders. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they are quite cautious about H-1B visa staff amid Trump's strict policies. So there are tech giants like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon have issued a warning to their H-1B visa staff amid increasing uncertainty around US new immigration policies. So tech giants like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon have issued a warning to their H-1B visa staff amid increasing uncertainty around Trump government new immigrant policies. Notably, Indian tech workers represent the most significant number of H-1B visa holders in the United States, and that we all know that 70% of the Indian H-1B visa holders are in the US and they are working in these tech giants. And of course, the tech giants also don't want to lose their H-1B visa holders because, they are highly skilled and highly talented. Also, according to Washington Post, major IT companies are already cautioning their employees about visas to avoid leaving the country or traveling abroad due to worries that they would not be permitted to return. Of course, we have been going through recent news where, at the US airport, the green cards are being revoked. Also, the Indian senior citizens, they have been pulled aside and quite scrutiny is happening. So that is why I think they are suggesting right now to their staff that it's better not to travel outside the US and because it will be quite difficult for them to return to the US. The H-1B visa program, which uses a lottery system to approve about 65,000 visas a year, plays a very crucial role in US IT industry. because that is highly dependent on foreign labor, particularly of Indians. That's what I said. Also, the majority of these permits are given to Indians, followed by Chinese and Canadian citizens. If we talk about the major companies like Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Apple, then they are among the major employees where Indians are there. So now the big question is it a bad news for Indian H-1B visa holders? Let's see. Two H-1B holder informed the Washington Post that they had cancelled their plans to visit India because they were worried about being denied to re-enter the US. Also, according to the Post, it has been said that one Indian employee voiced concerns about the Trump administration's decision to revoke birthright citizenship, fearing that if the legislation is altered, then any future children may become stateless and neither Indian nor American. Another Indian H-1B worker also told the outlet, and he said that there is assumption that everybody who is not a US citizen might be here illegally. So these are the big statements, and these are the statements that has been putting up by the H-1B visa holders. Also, Indian H-1B visa holders are reportedly facing additional difficulties as a result of the uncertainty caused by the administration. Some employees claim that they are now required to carry more documents and be a little more vigilant and be alert all times while they are in the public. Also, talking about a Silicon Valley, a hub for innovation, where human resources representative told the Post that businesses are footing the bill for faster visa extension processing in order to offset delays. While Trump has lately shown support for the H-1B visas, and that's for sure, Indian workers are still concerned because, of course, the challenges are more and the process is also becoming a little more competitive. And the administration's overall immigration policies are being also uncertain. So this is a very high time and nobody knows what's going to happen. But I think, friends, by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel, this will definitely help you because we are the go-to source platform and we will try our best to provide you the first news update regarding anything that's happening in the world of immigration. So please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And also stay tuned and watch this webinar till the end. And also put your thoughts in the comments below. And if it would be great enough if you could directly dial this number and put the access code and have a call with us. So Napasa, why don't you go ahead and let our viewers know about the second important news update?
Thank you so much, Sam, for that important news update yourself. And yes, I have a news update, and this is regarding, U.S. immigration to recognize only two genders, and it ends third gender option on forms. So, yes, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, that is USCIS, has announced it will no longer offer a third gender option on immigration forms, limiting applicants to selecting either male or female. And this change, follows an executive order signed by President Donald Trump, of course, titled Defending Women from Gender Ideology Extremism and Restoring Biological Truth to the Federal Government. So, under this new policy, USCIS will recognize a person's sex based on their birth certificate issued at or near the time of birth. So, if the birth certificate does not clearly indicate male or female, the agency will rely on secondary evidence. And this decision reverses, well, a Biden era policy that allowed immigrants to select an X gender marker on naturalization and other immigration related applications. So, yes, Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin, yes, defended the move, stating that there are only two sexes, male and female. Immigration policy should be based on national security, not ideology debates. And she also argued that rolling back gender inclusive policies protects women's dignity and safety. So the change is expected to impact non binary and transgender immigrants who had relied on the X designation for accurate legal documentation. And advocacy groups warn that, this could create additional hurdles, particularly for asylum seekers fleeing persecution based on gender identity. And critics also argue that the decision contradicts the trend in some states and federal agencies, such as the Department of State, which had expanded passport services to include a third gender option. And as the policy takes effect, legal changes are expected. Immigration applicants are advised to review their documentation carefully and seek legal guidance to ensure compliance with the updated gender requirements. So, this is the update for now. And if there'll be more updates on this as well, we are going to come up with more news for you, more information for you. And for that, you'll have to stay tuned for on our channel. And our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Don't forget to subscribe to us if you haven't as yet already, and hit that bell icon so that whenever we have discussions, you are notified. And of course, you don't miss out on any information. So, yes, friends, I wonder what do you think about this as well? Male or female, and there's going to be no more X gender. It's crazy. I'm sure, like, it's stirring up everybody out there, and I would really like to know your thoughts as well. So please feel free to comment, and you can also call in to tell us your thoughts about not just the news updates or the latest updates, or if you have more updates, you can always come and share. But also, that today's discussion is going to be on a very important topic: green card freeze, what it means for Indian in the US. So, yes, Sam, I think we should just come to our topic now. And to start off, I think we should also know you know, what
Is
is
happening
happening
right
with the green card freeze. So,
now. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I think now, friends, you all know our topic, and this is very important. So let's begin with the basic understanding, like what's happening right now. So the U.S. government under President Donald Trump administration, they have decided to pause the processing of certain green card applications right now. So this means that many immigrants, including thousands of Indians, because of course Indian majority are more, in US right now, and they will now have to wait even longer to get their permanent residency. So currently, the US government has decided to put a little pause on the process of certain green card applications. So the major question is, of course, this is the step that has been taken by the government, but it's also important to understand that why they have taken this step, right? And to understand the reason, here's the very important reason. Number one, stricter security checks. So, of course, if we talk about, security checks, then Trump's administration has been very vocal about and has been very bold enough that they are not going to leave, US in threat, or they don't want any risk for the US security issue. And that is why they tried to pause this green card application for a while, so that, as also Marco Rubio has also said, those who are going to get the green card, that is a privilege kind of thing, and that citizen has to make sure enough that, the government is at least confident enough the one whom they are providing the green card is no threat to the US. And that is why they have taken this step. But also, let me go a little deeper into it. Like Trump's executive order always aimed to screen immigrants more carefully. But this time, they are trying to examine and they are trying to, dig deeper into their background and also want to know their activity, as they are also putting an eye on their social media accounts, social media activity. So everywhere they are being very careful, and they are screening, immigrants in a very careful way before granting them the permanent residency. So, of course, if we talk about the previous scenario, then earlier also it used to happen. But friends, we should also look at the misuse of the system. We should also look at the, violation of the law. And that too, when we talk about the immigrants, then of course there are so many immigrants who had made the America, but there are so many American immigrants also who had tried to break the America as well. And by keeping all these in mind, I think that is why the administration has taken up this step. And, the US government claims that some applicants may pose a national security risk. So they want to conduct more in-depth background checks. And there's nothing wrong from their side because, of course, not being very careful enough regarding providing them the Permanent residency, of course, can be a threat to the national security. And Trump's administration don't want to do that. They want to be very specific about their Americans right now, and that is why they are putting up this statement. Also, the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, has said that the immigrants need to go through additional screening to ensure that they don't have any ties to criminal activities or terrorist organization. And I think, friends, it's fair enough because those who have clean background, who have nothing, no ties with the criminal background or no ties with the terrorist organization, they will get their green card in a proper way as how the process goes. But those who have, I think this time they can't, try to, even if they try so hard to cheat the system, they can't. This means that even people who have already been checked in the past will now they have to go with the another round of security clearance, making the process even longer. So this is quite a difficult one, and of course this will make the process quite longer because those who have already gone through such a long process and they have the green cards and still they have to go with the same process. So for them it will be little tiring, but friends, this is nothing that is going against with your status. Of course, the administration is trying to make US more secure enough and to make the system more fairer one. And for that, of course, each immigrant needs to be little initiative and needs to take little step to cooperate with the government. So, Nipasa, this was the first reason from my side. Why don't you go ahead and let us know the other reason, regarding taking this bold step?
Sure, Sam, I would. And it's very interesting and also not such a good news, I think, for many out there. I mean, green card pause, like a freeze. That means there's not much anymore going to be issued. Of course, like you were saying, there was exploitation in the some years back, few months back, and so many fraudulent activities going on. People, middlemen who are trying to exploit this system, who have been trying so hard. But I'm super glad that with Trump coming in, we have a lot more transparency, at least much more than we used to have, at least. And it's getting better that we have more information of what used to happen, and they're trying to see that uh, all these things cannot be exploited because it has to be fair and square for everyone in who want to be a part of the system, who have taken bold steps, whether it is moving to America for studies or work or
Yeah.
settling down after falling in love, anything and everything. So we really have to see. But yeah, coming back to our points and today's discussion, of course, another point is it's about protecting American jobs, right? When Trump first came in, he's always been saying America first. So yes, one of Trump's biggest immigration policies has always been about America first, meaning he really wants to reduce competition for jobs, between immigrants and American workers, because many Americans have been also feeling that immigrants are coming into the US to take away their jobs. But that is this is one of the notion that people have been having, but I don't know how much or to how much percentage each one feels this way. But yes, the administration definitely argues that by freezing green card processing, they can actually prioritize, the jobs in the United States for the U.S. citizens instead of immigrants. So they're going to see that they can train. I mean, who cannot learn right nowadays? If you have enough knowledge and skills can be learned as well. Of course, it'll take some time, but I think yes, they're trying to prioritize the jobs in the United States for the U.S. citizens. So it's a very very good thing. Why not? If people are there who are looking for jobs and who are going to be able to fulfill the job responsibilities, then why not? And but then if you think about it, it mainly affects the high skilled Indian professionals on H-1B visas, right? Who are already working in the US legally. So, I mean, there are people who are in the system and they still want to be in it, and people are sort of if you talk about Indians especially. So,
Mhm.
and if you talk about H1B as well, since it is the season, the lottery just finished, the results just came out, and yet to know though how many got selected and how many Indians specifically got selected for in this first round. But yeah, so if tech industry or the healthcare industry, you'll see that there are many immigrants, especially from India, who have been making it for so many years, right? So
Yeah,
this pause is actually going to affect the Indians. And if you think about it also, like from another perspective, I'm just saying, I don't know how many of y'all will agree, but India is I mean, highly populated country, right? So there are people who, I mean, of course, they want to be in India also, but who are very, very highly focused, to say, like, to go study abroad or work
yeah,
abroad, earn better, learn better, and feed, our loved ones better. And that is even sacrificing and being away from the family, going to America, living there for as much, 5 years or 6 years or more, and
yeah,
earn a little something and come back. So but then this is not the case for every country, right? Because they probably have enough, and not many people need to go out, you know what I mean. But
yeah.
again, so it could be the population as well. And with India being populated, and also there are so many applicants from India because they are looking for jobs there, right? In America. So I think this could be one reason why the number of Indians are also more. What do
That's
you
right.
think,
Of
Sam?
course.
I don't know if you
Um,
understood what I was trying to say.
No, no, of course, I completely understood, Nipasa. You explained it pretty well. And that's for sure, of course. I mean, there is a reason behind, why Indians are willing to move to the US, and that too, so many Indians are willing to move to the US, of course, because they are not getting as much resources, in their own country, and that is why they're going there. So there's nothing to hide upon it. Of course, India is a developing country and US is already a developed country. It's the largest economy. So it's not only Indians, but there are so many other, people from different countries also where they are developed, but still they are moving to the US. Because of course,
Yes.
US has something that can, make your life little, I mean, everything, whether regarding your work, regarding your education, it's a platform for every, I would say, all-rounder kind of thing. So everyone wants to go to the US and everyone wants to shift to the US as well. It's just
Yeah.
that, Indians are becoming little, I mean, they have to face little scrutiny in their visa because there are so many Indians as compared to other countries who have to struggle more. Of course, 65,000 is just a number. There are millions of Indians applicants who are submitting, each year. The registrations are happening in millions, in million of numbers. So that is why it
I
is
think,
becoming little challenging for them.
right,
And
right. No, yeah, and I just want to highlight also that if you look back in the previous years, there are quite a number of Indians who make it also actually to the H1B visa, or yes, especially the H1B visa category. Where because why many want to be able to fit into this H1B category, it's because this visa is sponsored by the employer themselves, so they don't have to
yeah,
spend much on this. And what they want to do is crack it, as in, like, study well, get good scores, and prove that you're more eligible by having the skill set. And
yeah,
I mean, that has been the system, right? So because when you talk about H1B, you have to be specially abled. I mean, how to say, it's a specialty occupation, right? Where
yeah,
people are I mean, employers are looking for people who are highly qualified for these job duties. So
yeah,
yes, and also looking back at, like I was saying, there have been so much percentage of Indians who have been making it. So it comes to the limelight, that why Indians are cracking it so much, and why not from other countries. But then it again comes back to the population point of view, where people are applying more, and they I mean, that is why probably they are. I mean, there are more Indians who are applying. That means Indian applicants, and
Mhm.
if of course they are there are, I mean, how to say, if they are selected, it's more.
That's right. That's right. Of course, and I think that's very well said. And now, Nipasa, I think let me also highlight and get back to our topic,
Yeah.
as we were also discussing like why, Trump's
Why is there
administration
the
has
freeze?
freeze the green card. Yeah. So I think the third reason can be to prevent the immigration fraud, because obviously, if we talk about the immigration fraud, then this is nothing new for everyone. Everyone is familiar what's fraud is happening, how people are trying to misuse the system, and how they are trying to make the system more complicated. And that is why the government believes that some applicants, they might be using fake documents or misrepresenting their qualifications to get the green card. And it's not their assumption, or it's not that they are, just thinking or contemplating. It's actually happened. Similar cases have been happened where we have seen that there are travel agents who just randomly, put up the name of the companies where the applicants didn't even know that they have worked over there. They have put up the job titles, they have given the qualifications that they did masters from here and there, and the applicants don't even know that they have qualified for such a degree. So this is something that they are misusing it, and anyhow they are creating fake documents, and that too only for the thing that they get the green card. So these are the things that's been happening for, like, we don't even know for how long. And right now, I think in 2025, the government is at least trying to take this step, trying to put a ban
Yeah.
on all these uh, misuse kind of thing, all these illegal
Frauds,
activities that's
scams,
happening, yeah,
right.
frauds, especially to, I would say, to disgrace the immigration law. And that
Absolutely.
is why also they have taken this step. And also the US CIS is now, required to verify all the documents again. So USCIS is also going to verify the documents again, even if they were already submitted before. And any minor error, or any missing information, or any small mistake could lead to the could lead the application delays or denials. So Napasa, we are just looking at a one way that it's difficult for the immigrants, and immigrants have to go through a lot of things, but also the government, they also have a lot of responsibilities. They also have to go ahead and recheck to those multiple applications, and they have to look for the multiple registrations, and it's also that their workload is also a lot. They are also having a lot of responsibility and a lot of duty, as what it will be easier for them to give a green card to anyone, or to not have a look at their background or what they have been doing here. But for them also, it's becoming very difficult to go ahead and check their social media platform, to check their phones, and also to, I mean, have a proper check of those documents and everything, who is applying and who wants to get the green card. So yeah, I think it's difficult from both the end. It's not only the immigrants, they are facing a lot of challenges. It's also the government, who are struggling a lot regarding these registration process, and regarding their own immigration policies that they are implementing. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think friends, these are the certain reasons that can happen. But Napasa, anything from your end, that you would like to add on to this reasons, or anything that you want to say?
No, I mean, it's really very nice, and I totally respect and appreciate what Trump and his administration is doing, to stop all these fraudulent activities. It's like like I said earlier, becoming fairer. At least there's more transparency, and much required. It's been like you were talking about the donkey route, and how many Indians have been doing everything, whether it is forging different documents or educational qualifications, just to be able to be in America. But I
Yeah,
think now what's going to happen is only the most deserving are going to be able to make it. So
and that's
it's
fair
really,
enough.
really, yes, it's
Yeah.
very fair, and it's just what's most required actually, because otherwise, because of all these frauds and scams that happen, I mean, there have been two sides to it, right? Sometimes people who don't deserve it also make it, and people who
Yeah.
really deserve lose their opportunities, right?
Mhm.
So I think this is very, very good. And coming back to why the green card freeze. I think, yes, so too many people tried to exploit. There were too many scams, and it's embarrassing also when you look back. Of course, there's this high number where, you know, there are so many Indians who make it, or so many Indians who are Indian applicants for H-1B visas or many other visas. But also, if you look at the fraud activities, also,
Yeah.
I think India is another country who's number one in it also. So if you look at the news, we have had so many 2024, right, Sam? I mean, we do news updates, so we had so many different sorts of news which we reported about frauds happening and
Hmm.
scams happening, where Indians in America who they were trying to create jobs, but there were no real jobs, and there were so many
Yeah.
applicants from India as well. So
Hmm.
much happening, and it's very embarrassing for India when you think about that side also.
That's right.
So yeah, much needed, all of this. And coming back to the points of discussion, I think another reason why there's a green card freeze is slowing down immigration. Right. So, yes, total respect to Trump and his administration, because they've been taking a tough stance on immigration since 2016. By delaying green card approvals, they make it harder for immigrants to become permanent residents or even bring their families to the US. And we have had news recently also that having a green card doesn't really mean that you're a permanent resident. I mean,
Yeah.
that also can be revoked, right?
Hmm.
And you just have to be sure that you are on the right path, not committing any crimes. You're still an immigrant, no matter what. So
Hmm.
this policy really fits into Trump's broader immigration agenda, including restricting both legal and illegal immigration. And of course, there critics are always there to say something, right? And this time, critics say that it is just another way to reduce the number of immigrants in the US, even those who follow all the rules. So this is one thing. And there are many who are getting affected by this, actually. The freeze, it's directly affecting thousands of Indian immigrants who are applying for permanent residency in the US. And imagine waiting. We know about the backlogs, India, China being the top, having backlogs, you know and
Hmm.
yeah, many Indians in the US, they work on H-1B visas, right? Especially tech companies, tech giants, and they apply for employment-based green cards to settle permanently.
Yeah.
And these workers already wait a lot of years, backlog issues, right? And
Hmm.
this freeze is actually, you know, affecting not just them, but also their dependents, and their applications will be delayed even more, making their future more uncertain. So this is definitely slowing down the process of us, people who want to come and settle in, or who have had dreams of settling in, at least.
Yeah.
Whether it's starting with their masters and working a bit and shifting to another visa and having a green card, and then, of course, the permanent residency.
Hmm.
And
That's right.
it's also affecting families, who have been waiting for green cards for all these years. So now the sudden freeze doesn't really look, I mean, imagine all that wait in the backlog, and probably you were thinking that now it's my turn now, and suddenly you know that, well, you just waited so long for nothing. You don't
Yeah.
just don't have any more chance for the green card that you were waiting for all these years.
Hmm.
So it's a little, I mean, sad for them too, but it's happening, friends. What to do? And you know, it's very important to. What do you think, friends, about this? The freeze in the green card, and you can feel free to join us on call in case you want to tell us what you feel. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel. It's at Immigration Talk Show, our handle. And check us out not just on YouTube, but also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram. We are there. Connect with us, follow us, and stay updated, because we have the latest updates for you all the time, especially on immigration. So
Yeah.
yes, coming back, there are families who have been waiting, right, for their green cards, and family reunification as well. So many Indian immigrants who sponsor their spouses, children, or parents for green cards. The freeze pauses these applications. Families
Hmm.
separated even for longer now. No more chance again, like I was saying. Waited for so long for this to happen, and now I don't know if it's just become more uncertain. So spouses and children who were also planning to reunite will now have to face this indefinite wait. We don't know because there is no certainty that it's just been
Yeah.
paused for a while or something like that. It's indefinite. They haven't said anything. So Indians who are Indian students and professionals, they are probably losing work authorization as well.
Mhm.
Whether you talk about OPT or H1B, they were all in the line for green cards, right?
Yeah.
And if the process gets delayed more, that means there'll be more delays in their work permits, and it could expire before their green card is really approved. So
Mhm.
all this is happening, and yeah, even the highly skilled Indian workers, considering other countries, they're all getting affected. Even Indian
Of
asylum
course.
seekers, refugees, so many
Mhm.
people. Like today, since the topic is only about India, but otherwise, I mean, it's not just Indians, but even others getting affected by this.
That's right. And the worst thing is that, it's not only about the people who are going to like wait from now on, even those who have already been checked in the past. They will also face another round of security clearance, and the process for them will become even longer. So this is a very challenging thing for them because, of course, they didn't expect this because once they have crossed this, security check thing, then of course they thought that now they'll be getting the permanent residency and they'll get their green card. But the process is going to be there for a second round, and they have to bring their documents, they have to wait for the lines, and everything is going to happen for the second time again. So it's really tough for them. And of course, Napasa, as you already shared, like who is affected. So you have mentioned different groups in the Indian immigrants. Firstly, you talked about the Indian workers on H1B. Then you also talked about the families, those who are waiting for green cards. Then Indian students, professionals who are losing the work authorization, and of course, the highly skilled, Indian workers who are considering the other countries too. So, of course, these are a very challenging thing, and that too for Indian asylum seekers and refugees also. When we talk about asylum seekers, then we have a little sympathetic feeling towards them because, of course, they have been going through a lot of things, and that is why they want to seek the asylum. But for them also, I think this time the policies will remain the same, and there won't be any differentiation between the seekers or the immigrants or the workers. I think each category will have the same, I mean, I won't say the same requirements. Of course, the requirements will be different, but at least the policies and the way, the process is becoming challenging, I think that will
Mm.
become for every immigrant. And that has to go through it, and the struggle will be real, and of course, the challenges will be there a lot. But with that, friends, also it's very important to know that how does this affect the Indian immigrants in which way? So number one, I think it will be, of course, for sure there will be longer green card wait time. Indians already wait decades, and that's for sure. But this time, we don't even know how much the time period will be. And that too, when Trump's administration has not given any time period or any time stance that for two
Indefinite. We
months,
don't
for
know how
three
long.
months, yeah, there's a freeze in the green card. We can not expect how long this can be. And in fact, there is also, a major important thing that there's also family separation and uncertainty. So immigrants who have applied for their spouses or children will now face delays in family reunification. So this is another quite emotional sort of thing for this topic, and many families who expected this time that at least they will get together and they will get the approval soon. Now also they have no idea when they will be reunited again. So these are quite a struggling part and quite a challenging part also. And of course, but I would say, friends, behind this also, there is also a reason that we have shared right now. So make sure that when you are cribbing about the administration, you also know, like, why is this happening? And, because of such a misuse, because of such a fraudulent activities that happen. And to make the system more transparent, I think these steps need to be taken. So yeah, and Napasa, anything that you would like to say about, how does this going to affect the Indian immigrants?
I mean, we've discussed already. I think it's we should take up some of our comments. I see
Sure.
Nayan, Bhavik, have participated. Hi to both of you. Thank you so much for your comments. I'm going to read them. But before that, friends, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. It's Immigration Talk Show, our handle. And I wish you could join us on call. If you want to say anything about what we discussed today or whatever you're facing or any of your thoughts on immigration in the US. And well, join in to tell us what you think. And you can dial this number 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So, yeah, now I'm going to read Nayan's comment. He joined us on YouTube. He's saying government immigration scorecard for deportation relied on tattoos and social posts. Court filings show government records obtained by the ACLU show immigration authorities used a point system that families and attorneys say unfairly targeted Venezuelan deportees. Okay, USCIS announced it has reached the initial H-1B visa cap for fiscal year 2026. This cap includes both the regular 65,000 visa cap and the additional 20,000 visas for individuals with a master's degree. And the Trump administration has paused processing green card applications for approved refugees and asylum seekers. That's right, citing a need for more aggressive vetting. And this move puts immigrants who've already been granted refuge in the U.S. in legal limbo. Right, despite having undergone rigorous security checks and proving they'd face persecution in their home countries. Well, that was heavy, Nayan, and it's very, very true what you just shared with us. It's definitely leaving not just asylees, not just refugees, but so many people out there, in limbo. It's become so uncertain. I mean, just imagine people with green cards also. They are feeling so uncertain about what's going to happen. What if it gets revoked? They are very, very anxious, let me tell you. It's not just people who couldn't be there or who were in the process of coming to the US or are living in the US, as asylees. Everybody is facing uncertainty right now. It's too early to say. I know Trump joined in office like more than I don't know how a few months now. I mean a few, but then every day we are waking up to changes. Every day we
Yeah.
have to be able to adapt properly, and these changes are good from what we see. And in fact today also we had few updates, and now US is only going to have two genders. I mean, imagine, like, so much has happened in between, right? So many years have passed on, and we had the X gender as well. But this is another change, and could be they. I'm sure they have their reasons, and it's just about categorizing and excuse me, sorry, also about yes, since we have been discussing maybe slowing down the immigration process or seeing who can be included and who cannot be. So a lot is happening, and we'll just have to wait for now for things to settle in, because there are changes happening, and we have to be able
Yeah.
to adapt to it, because we do not want to be rule breakers, we want to be rule followers, right? So Nayan, I think thank you so much for putting up all these very important points. And I don't have anything to argue, actually. I mean,
Mhm.
great points. I wish you could join us to tell us that.
That's right. Nayan has spoken a lot, and Nayan, I think why don't you join us? It would be great,
Yeah.
if you could, instead of writing and typing and doing all such a hard work, it would be better if you could directly say it on a call. But that's okay. We can go ahead with the next comment. And Bhavik is here, and Bhavik is saying Trump administration has already restricted H-1B visas and imposed stricter asylum policies under the guise of national security. The reality, however, is a direct impact on thousands of Indians contributing to the US economy and society. Of course, Bhavik, and every day our topic of discussion is only this, only that how is it impacting the immigrants, whether in a good way or a bad way. And right now, until and unless the year goes an end and when we will estimate everything, like how many immigrants have already got the visas and how many immigrants have worked over there. So till then, I think it's too early to say and too early to interpret anything. And of course, everyone has their own side. And if we also talk about, different, I would say the official people, what they have said, what they have spoken about the green card free statement, then Laura Collins, who is the director at the Bush Institute, SMU Economic Growth Initiative, she has criticized the decision and she said that all these people have already passed government scrutiny, so further delays are unnecessary. This is what she said. And also, there's another person whose name is Asde Arfani from the National Immigrant Justice Center. He also condemned the move. And he also said that this is just another attempt to make immigration harder and delay the process for no valid reason. So, we can see different people have their own opinions, and of course, critics have their own opinion, and similarly, different people have their own opinion, but that's okay, of course, until and unless we get the whole estimation about the immigrants, how many they have worked in the US and what are the wage level or everything, when we are not, when we are going to estimate, then only we can understand how the decisions have favored the immigrants or not. Till then, of course, you are free to say anything that you feel like and post your comments on the comment section. We will definitely take them up. And also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Immigration Talk Show. And Bhavik, also let me know if you have any follow-up question or any follow-up thoughts that you would like to share in this session. We will definitely have a conversation on that. And Napasa, why don't you go ahead and take Ganesh comment here?
I was just going to say that imagine like sorry. So I was just saying like before I go to take Ganesha's comment, I was just going to say, for people who are not as yet in the United States, it's still, I think it's still fine. It's going to be okay. Let's accept it that we cannot go to the US. But imagine the situation for those who are already in the US. The migrants who are already in the US and who have
Right.
been here for over decades now, maybe generations. It could be the second or the third generation, and now they have to leave the country, or they are in a position where they don't know what's going to happen, and I mean, imagine that. Imagine the situation for them. So imagine people who are working on legal visa, on everything legal. They haven't committed any crime, or for that matter, and they have a proper green card, and now they get to know that they might have to leave the country. Imagine the situation for them. They never ever thought that they will have to, but it's happening. So
Hmm.
yeah. So Ganesh, let me take the comment. So much to
Yeah.
say, right, today? Sorry. So Ganesh is saying, as Trump continues to tighten immigration policies, one question remains. Yes, will legal migrants ever achieve the stability they were promised? Well, Ganesh, just what I said just now, it's become very, very uncertain, and we don't know what's going to happen, because for people who are not yet in America, it's all right, like it's still acceptable. But for people who are in here already and who might have to leave, or there are chances that their, visas could be revoked for no particular reason, or reason that couldn't be strong enough, which we thought till last year or till before President Trump became the president again. So let's see what happens, Ganesh. But right now, yes, very true. The question remains, will legal migrants ever achieve the stability they were promised? We don't know.
I think it's a very big question and important question, and that too in everyone's mind. That will legal immigrants, migrants, ever achieve the stability they were promised? I don't have a very expert opinion, Ganesh, but I would just say, that till now, I mean, till 2024, of course, the legal migrants, those they have gone with proper right documents and the right follow the
Yeah,
right procedure. Of course, they have been getting all the benefits, all the facilities, and they were like treated fairly and respectfully, the way they deserve. But I think this time, when there are so many illegal immigrants also who are in the country, then of course they don't deserve the right treatment and they have to be like removed from the country as soon as possible. And that is why the administration, are deciding because they don't know exactly who are the legal ones, who are the illegal ones. And that too, it's really hard to identify, just by looking at their face that who is the right candidate, I mean, right person and who is not. Because there are so many illegal immigrants who are working in the agricultural sector, though they are not harming the US economy, they are, of course, contributing, but still, that is against the law. That means that they are violating the law. So if you look at a very quite a sympathetic way or in a very personal way, emotional way, then of course they should deserve respect and they should, deserve that place. But still, according to the administration, it's not their duty to allow anyone who is going against the law. And if they are illegal, of course, it's little quite difficult to identify who's the legal and who's the illegal. Because earlier also there were so many fake documents and fake candidates used to come. Multiple registration also used to happen, and that too,
yeah,
I think these all are the things that was compiling it together and making a
absolutely.
whole system a very fraudulent one. And
Yeah,
that is why, when administration is trying to figure out who are the illegal ones, then it is quite obvious that, of course, the legal ones will also be impacted, not in a very major way, but a little one.
yeah.
So that's little sad and that's little, I would say, heartbreaking, but that's it. We can't say more to it, but that's how it is happening, and we have to go with the law. That's what they are asking for us to go.
Yes, absolutely. I love the way how you put it, Sam, and it's so true. And I think it was much needed because, like you said, we don't know how these people came in, which route they came in. Did they were they really legally in, and were they trying to cover up anything? So imagine the pain, you know, President Trump and his administration they are taking to really, really filter all these out as much as possible, right? And
Hmm.
it's a huge step, so I think we will just have to be a little more patient for things to settle down, but this will settle. And I know it's going to affect it not just one group but everyone out there. So till then, I think, yes, Ganesh, also the question still remains, of course, will legal migrants ever achieve the stability? We don't really know. It's going to take some time now again because the whole system has been shaken, you can say, and
Yeah.
right now we'll just have to wait for things to settle in. So let's just be a little more patient than we used to be, and let's try to look for answers, and also at the same time play safe and be on the right path and see that we have everything that's required, to be able to still be in the country if we are. And all the best, friends. So I think with that we
Right.
should wrap up also, right, Sam? And
Yeah, yeah, of
probably have
course.
a few, if you have anything to say before we go
I think
also.
we already had a lot to say, but of course, just to end the session, I would say that, friends, it's also important, like what you can do right now. So, most importantly, consult to an immigration attorney. A lawyer can definitely help you to explore your legal options. You'll
Yes.
get to know what are your rights, and in this difficult situation, how you can handle the situation by losing your status, so that you will get to know only by consulting with an immigration attorney. And also stay updated on USCIS announcement. Don't take these things very lightly. It's very important. Always set a reminder that every like 5 days or 6 days after, you have to look for the USCIS announcement. Keep checking the official US immigration websites for the update. Also,
Yeah.
lastly, I would say that consider other visa pathways also. Of course, H-1B is, I won't say easy, but at least it's a very demanding, and most of the people want to go with the H-1B. But if you are not able to, and if you are putting up a lot of time, lot of effort also, and money, of course, then it's better to switch the option and go with the other visa category, because other visa categories are also there that can land you up in the US and you can live a happy life, a luxurious life, or the life that you ever dreamt of. So don't restrict yourself with one category. Make yourself open up and have more and more information, and keep watching Immigration Talk Show, where we will definitely try to make you aware about all the information and all the news that's happening in the world of immigration, so that our viewers don't miss out any, and they can fill themselves with lots of information. That's all, Napasa.
Absolutely, Sam. And friends, if you haven't as yet subscribed, once again, let me remind you, subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And you can find us not just on YouTube, but we are also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and also on Instagram. So connect with us and stay in touch with us, because we have a lot of news updates and a lot of awesome information in the webinars that we have with our attorneys. And of course, these attorneys, whenever we have attorneys on our shows, we also give out their contact details. So you can always have them. You can always go back and watch some of our very recent episodes in case you have missed them out. Even today, we had a webinar with attorney Prashanti Reddy at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So go check it out. Very, very interesting topics we discuss, and not just attorney Prashanti Reddy. I mean, we have so many attorneys who have a lot to share with us, and there is information that you wouldn't want to miss out. So I highly recommend that you go check us out and check out our videos. And of course, stay tuned, because I and Sam, we come with daily immigration dose from Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So we will definitely see you tomorrow. But also, friends, if you have questions or anything you want to ask or discuss, and you don't know who could give you answers, you can just leave me a WhatsApp message, and I could direct them to our attorneys or other experts who will be able to give an answer to you. And my WhatsApp number is 408-335-6444. And you can also email me. My email address is nipa@staffingly.com. And you can also email Sam. Her email address is sam@staffingly.com. So this is it then. Thank you so much, all of you folks, for joining us today. And I'll see you, I mean, we will see you again tomorrow. So until then, y'all out there have a wonderful rest of the day. And yeah, take care. Stay safe and stay updated always.
Thank you, everyone.